Are we live or what?
Says we're live, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to let everyone chime in, give everyone a little bit of time to get on board here. Let me see. Here we go. Starting to see it live, which is good. Oh, Nick, I'm upside down this way on the screen. Let's fix that up. It's terrible that.
Sideways?
I don't know.
How's that?
Can you see me there?
Yeah, I still see
All
you.
right, play the music one more time. I don't think people got to respect that that much. Play it one more time.
One more time?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right, guys, it is October 24th, 8:17 p.m. Guys, I'm going to put this out there right away. If you message me at 12 and you still think I'm live, get some glasses. Akeem Optical for sure. A lot of people have been doing that. Messaging me at 12 o'clock, what do you think about Rob Ramich's mustache? Guys, that was 18 years ago, and the podcast or the live Facebook that I did was at least 3 hours ago. So stick on the time. It's 8:17 p.m. Joey T Live, Leafs Talk, Life Talk, episode 4. Tonight's sponsor is Woodbridge Bowl. Woodbridge Bowl. If you don't get a strike, take a hike. Okay? All right, guys. So I'm going to go over the last two games, a couple of things that happened in my life since Saturday. The Leafs went to Ottawa and they lost the game 6-3. It was a disappointing loss. You know, at the end of the day, for the fans that live in Ottawa, you needed that W because at the end of the day, you still live in Ottawa. We live in Toronto. You guys got that victory. Anderson can't let in all those goals. He let in 6 again. His goals against average.
One was an empty netter, but
One was an empty netter. That's the Wonder Boy, actually. His new name is the Wonder Boy, Nicholas Sartori, a.k.a. the Future, a.k.a. the Rising Sun. A little side story, guys. My nephew's car was parked on the side of the street. That's why we're late. And another jabroni kid smoked his car, hit it
15 feet back.
15 feet back. And while my nephew was holding his car with disgust, I said, my fans are waiting for me right now. Who gives a shit about your car? Big show tonight. Guys, to all my fans out there too, I love you. For the 20 subscribers, wow, I'm getting really big. Some people say I'm bigger than the Beatles. One day at a time. Back to Anderson. He can't let in all those goals. 5 goals, 1 was an empty netter. He's got to stay on his head. He's got to play a lot better. Marner played terrible. He really looked his age Saturday night. He had a giveaway, had a good chance to score a goal. It reminds me when I was hitting the clubs at his age, I couldn't pick up every night, and I had off weeks, and Marner's having a lot of off weeks, you know, and he's holding the stick too tight right now. It was like me, you know, when I first went to overage nightclubs, I was doing good my first year. The second year, I thought it would be easier, and it was harder to scoop, and I find that the comparison with Marner, it's right there. Okay, any questions yet so far, Nicholas?
So far, no questions.
Sorry, Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy, I heard you got some stats written up while you were supposed to be in school. York University. Where do you go to school, Nicholas?
Go to York.
York. Good for you. York. I had a dog once who was a York.
Yeah, how about Humber?
Humber, I was just there to score goals. Okay, Nicholas, Wonder Boy, stay on topic. Give us some stats from Saturday night.
Back from Saturday night, 6-3 loss.
Put your face to the microphone, Wonder Boy. We'll fire you. Put your face to the microphone.
Anderson played well in the first period. Stopped 12 out of 13 shots, but in the second and third period, too many easy goals. Too many saves where he could have saved them, but he wasn't in the right position or he just didn't react quickly enough. And those just hurt the team. Also, the Leafs are third worst in the NHL in giveaways. These giveaways keep costing the Leafs goals game in, game out, and they got to fix that. We'll bring that more up in the next game, LA, but
Okay.
we'll keep that on Ottawa.
So those are all the stats you got from Saturday night. I'm paying you
You
how
were
much
pressuring me.
to give me 3 point. What are you, the Wonder Boy fake spreadsheet? Don't worry, you're doing great. Those are 3 points. He is in school. I don't see my face on this live thing here. Dino Scarolo, is Woodbridge Bowl really the sponsor? Yes, Dino, it is. Like I said, if you don't get a strike, take a hike. Go there for your 30th birthday. You'll have a blast, just like I did. Woodbridge Bowl, great facility. off of Marycroft. Okay, enough plugging them out. Last night, I actually went to the game last night. I am 2-0 at Leaf games. The Leafs won against the second best team at the league at the time. I guess Tampa and LA were both second. They won 3-2. They are now 7-2, second overall in the NHL. Again, I am 2-0 at home games, guys. I'm going to go back to the last couple of years. I go to every single playoff game, whether it's Raptors, Leafs, Blue Jays, and I hate when people come up to me, stop going to games, you're the reason why they lose. You know,
that was me.
It's the players on the field or the ice. It's not me. Basically, I love looking at the standings, guys. Montreal, my Hat fans out there, you guys are now 1-6-1 with a big 3 points. I remember when the Leafs had 3 points. That was the first 2 games of the season. Boston 3-3-1, 7 points, and Detroit 4-4-1. Why I'm bringing this up again? I love seeing all you fans that went from the 401 to 401, 905 area, took a plane, found a new team, came back and told everyone about your team. I love that you guys are losing. Okay, poor non-Leaf fans are dizzy right now. They're waiting for the big collapse. They're also waiting for Lamoriello to make a bad trade. Guys, you're living in the past. Do you forget who's on our team? This guy right here, Mateo. Marner actually played a great game, as actually was his best game of the season versus LA. He would have had 3 points. Goal was disallowed.
Should have counted.
Should have counted. Good point, Wonder Boy. That was a great insight. He's really on top of his game. How many viewers have we got so far?
We got 10.
10, that's not bad.
It went down a little bit.
Maybe because we were going to plug it at 8 o'clock, but your car got smoked. We were supposed to go live, guys, at 8 o'clock, but my nephew parked on the wrong side of the street. And like I said, some kid who said it was too dark outside just smoked my poor nephew's car. Now, Wonder Boy cannot go to school tomorrow. He probably has to drop out. And he could be my assistant. Again, I'm a mortgage agent, guys. I did 2 deals this week. And I had another subscriber on YouTube. Life is great. Again, I was at the game last night. Went on, friend took me to the game. Shout out to Misha again for taking me to the game. Went to the Shearer Club. Shearer Club, you know, I can't watch a game from the Shearer Club. I feel like if I'm not in the stadium, I'm missing out. So I went back by myself for the third period. I had 2 seats. Feet were up. Having a good time. No questions so far. It's been a slow night, Nicholas. Your car getting smashed has been really
the talk of the night.
Yeah, it's really affecting our viewers. Actually, you do have some other stats, Wonder Boy. Can you let them out?
You want me to say some stats or some comments Mike Babcock made last night?
Yeah, let's give it to old Babs. See what
Old Babs? Well, Mitch Marner. He goes, I thought Mitchell really had a good game. I thought he had a really good jump in the 4th line, considering he had Dominic Moore and Matt Martin, who can't score if their life depended on it.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I think Babcock is sending a message to Marner, and it's a good message. It's like when a father gives you a shot across the head. It's not to hurt you, it's to wake you up. And I think that's
Life
what Babs
lesson.
did. You know, Martin looks like Brad Pitt, so at the end of the day, whether he plays bad or not, he still looks fantastic. Dominic Moore's good. Marner was flying all night. I was there, 16 rows from center ice. That's where I sit when I go to the games. I got no time for the purples. And it was a good game. What was that point that I sent it to you via WhatsApp? Shout out to WhatsApp out there.
Which one? You sent me money.
Send me the one that ESPN was reporting something on my buddy number 34.
ESPN here. If we flash forward a few weeks, McDavid will inevitably rise from 58th in scoring I'd certainly choose McDavid. And in my now and later rankings of 53 league insiders, coach, scouts, executive, and players, 41 believe McDavid would be the best player in the league 4 years from now.
So basically, sorry to interrupt, Wonder Boy. This is an article on ESPN. Who would you build your team around as of today? And ESPN wrote a pretty good article. I read it, send it over to Wonder Boy, and he's now pretty much reading it off to you. So if you think he's just blabbing about nothing, he's still dizzy about his car getting smoked.
Yeah.
But he's focused. Don't worry. Carry on with that article.
Continuing, it says, McDavid is unavailable here, so I'll play by the rules. I'll gladly take Matthews to build my team around. It's going to be fascinating to watch these guys go head-to-head over the next few years. The scout told me in discussion for the rankings. That's basically it.
That's a great article. So basically what they were trying to say there, we all know what McDavid has to offer, But Matthews' upside is a lot more scary.
Matthews is performing now.
Yeah, so again, another great article. I know I didn't write it. Someone else wrote it. Lisa Ragno says, hi, we entertainers. Hey, Joey, they have a big, big Halloween party. We entertainers, they are throwing it on the 28th, I believe. How are you guys? Good to see you.
Going back to Matthews and McDavid. Matthews, 7 points, 5 assists in 12 games.
What does McLovin have right now?
He has 3 goals and 5 assists and 8 points.
You know, at the end of the day,
games.
McDavid's going to get his 100 points. You're not going to stop him. But he lives in Edmonton.
Matthews performing still.
What was that next question, Nicholas, that I sent you to? Was there another one there?
You want to do the Marchand comment?
Yes, Marchand, probably one of the best agitators in the league. Actually gave a compliment.
Saturday night, he tweets, at what point do the Maple Leafs have to start playing Matthews 1v5 to make it fair for other teams?
I don't know. Let me ask Matthews. So at the end of the day, that's just a toy from Walmart. That's not the real Matthews. That's a great compliment from one of the best players in the world, saying it's not fair that Matthews, basically you need 5 guys and he has to come on the ice alone. And he's playing that great. The team looks unbelievable. I can't believe we're 7-2. And yes, guys, I know, who knows if we're going to win the Cup this year. We still need a couple pieces, but it's going to be one hell of a ride. We got a good future. I've been saying that for the last 3 shows. I really think they're going to take a good run at it. We're open for question, guys. It is 8:28. Just in case if you're watching this live again and you come on at 12:20, that's 4 hours difference. I am sleeping at 12:20. Questions will be held till tomorrow. So,
could bring up a couple stats I jot down.
all right, Wonder Boy, that's why you're here.
Season stats. Leafs have the 4th best power play in the league, 28.9%. 7th best penalty kill in the league, upgrade from last year, which was 10th. Best face-off percentage in the league, number 1, 54.9% compared to last year's 15, which is a major upgrade.
Oh, quick question by Rob Citrullo. Hey Joey, how do you have enough time today to be the most knowledgeable Leafs fan and superior mortgage agent? You are the equivalent to a 2-sport athlete like Bo Jackson. Well, Rob, you know, you're going to get another high five when I see you. That's a great question. Actually, I did a nice mortgage for Rob. Rob's one of the best real estate agents in the city. Mike Massaferro is actually moving into that house on Thursday. I did his mortgage. Shout out to Mikey Mass. And Nikki G, actually, Mike just wrote, is upset about the Kings losing the other night, so take it easy on him. That's my good buddy Nikki G. He actually took a helicopter to the game, and he watched his LA Kings lose 3-2, and he actually flew his helicopter to LA when the LA Kings won the Cup 2 times to watch them at their parade. I thought it was pathetic, and I thought he should have stayed here with me and waited for the Leafs to win. But shout out to Nikki G. Kathy Lucia, yes it is, Lisa. It's called Splitville now, right now. I do not get what Lisa's asking me. Maybe she thinks I was in a relationship and I split up with the person, but I'm all about the Leafs and life talk. Hey guys, if you have any life questions, relationship problems, mortgage questions, that's why I'm here. This is my show. I can't even go to Garden Foods no more, guys. I need security. It's tough for me to get bread, apple juice, anything. I got fans coming all over. Even when I go in an Uber, I just want to get to my destination. I got to sign autographs. Fans all around. Big show tonight. 4th one of the season. It's looking great right now. Who's the next team the Leafs play?
Carolina.
Carolina. Sounds like one of the songs, one of my favorite songs. Carolina.
Carolina is doing pretty good this year.
Carolina, what's their record?
Let me pull it up right now. They are 3-2-1. Okay, and but only played 6 games compared to everybody else playing 8 or 9 or 10.
Too bad the Leafs have more fans in the Platinum Lounge than they do in their whole stadium.
Exactly.
So I guess it doesn't really mean much to that fan base. But you know, at the end of the day, they won a cup in 2007. We haven't won a cup since 67. So do the math. Shout outs to Carolina. Evening right now about Carolina. Okay, guys, we are now at 8:31. How many people are on tap here, Nicolai?
You really want to know?
How many?
5.
5. Hey guys, you gotta start somewhere in life. When I first started doing mortgages 3 years ago, I was calling everybody. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta grind it out. Look where I am today. $10 million rider. Blah blah blah. 416-553 Joey. Shameless shout out for myself. Again, our sponsors who supplied all the French fries tonight. Woodbridge Bowl has come up huge for me in my life. Big date in 1996, set the tone right, put the right music on, and the rest is history. Wonder Boy has no car, I repeat. We had a big accident on 30 Sunkiss Road. My nephew was here for the big show tonight, and his car got smoked, just like the hit Pilak did last night.
Pilak?
Pilak, what's his name again?
Polak?
Polak. Pilak. Yep. It's all the same at the end of the day. Welcome back, Polak. Signed him for $1 million just to throw some big hits.
Do you want me to say what you said about Matthews compared to Gretzky and Lemieux?
Yeah, give him that stat.
An article on Toronto Sun. After the first 88 games Wayne Gretzky played in the NHL, he had scored 52 goals. Mario Lemieux, in the same number of games, had 54. Austin Matthews scored his 45th goal in his 88th game.
Wow, so basically, we brought this point up last show, Wonder Boy. We pretty much had the Ovechkin, Solani, Lindros comparison, but when you're mentioning Matthews in the same breath as Gretzky and Lemieux, that's quite frightening, that's for sure.
Also says the NHL Matthews plays in scores 2.89 goals per team, as the NHL Gretzky played in 3.45, and the scoring was easier back then.
Scoring was a lot easier back in the 80s overall, period. So all you had to do was drive a Trans Am, and things were good back in the 80s. But, I think this is the way I look at it, guys. I know you guys probably hate that I bring up number 34 all the time. I think McDavid is equivalent to Gretzky, and my man Mateo is equivalent to Lemieux. I still think McDavid's a tad better, but Lemieux and Matthews are right there with Gretzky. I think, Matthews in the next couple of years is going to give him a good run. And again, it's still Crosby's world till someone takes him off the throne. He's got back-to-back cups. He might win another one. You never know. If anyone's seen Phil Kessel play basketball today on Instagram, they might lose this year just for that reason. But when you got guys like Malkin, it's tough to beat a team like that. Any questions out there, guys? We're dying here.
No questions tonight.
No questions tonight. It's 8:33 again. Carrying the show on my back. Wonder Boy's car got smoked. The Leafs are now 7-2, 14 points after 9 games, on pace for 100 points. Life is good in Leafland. Life is good.
A pretty hard road trip coming up next week.
Who are they playing next week?
Next week they go San Jose, Anaheim, Kings, St. Louis.
Oh, West Coast swing.
West Coast swing.
They've always had trouble with the West Coast swing. LA's going to look for revenge. San Jose, Marlowe's going to be the first time in that stadium in his 17-year career. 1,500 games playing with San Jose. It's going to be a good homecoming. It's like when I went back to my high school for the first time after 10 years.
Anaheim is always tough.
Anaheim's always tough. Great players, Getzlaff, Perry, Cogliano, good old Woodbridge boy. Know him pretty well. Grew up, knows my cousin. Hung out, went to a couple nightclubs back in the day. He went to play in the NHL. I played on the streets. Difference with us guys. Kathy Lucia is saying that they're throwing the Halloween party on the 27th. We entertainers are throwing it. Giuseppe Maleka, go on his Instagram, Giuseppe MC, to go check out that Halloween party, guys. They throw some great parties. If you got nothing to do, shame on you. Go to those parties. Mike Massafero again. Thank you for the mortgage. Good shout out to my buddy Mike, Nicky G.
You read what Rob Sertrillo said?
Yes, I did. Rob is a good real estate agent, a great friend of mine. Just did a deal together. Shameless plugs all around. But I want to go back to where the Leafs are now, where they were in the last 9 years, Wonder Boy. Basically, when I would see my buddy Ralph, who was my co-host, who's still not here, I would ask him,
Still not here.
what's your son's or your friend's son's favorite team? I would get Chicago, Crosby, Pittsburgh. Who's their favorite player? Taves, Kane. I was just shocked because as a kid, I would always watch the Maple Leafs, even though there was the Gretzky's, the Lemieux, the Sakic's. I never wanted to switch, but you can't blame those kids, Wonder Boy, because after 9 years of not making the playoffs, the kids were not going to cheer for a third-line center that was getting 6.5 goals.
We have Ponikarovsky,
DeAndre,
Dabrowski, Kuhlman.
Sergei Berezin. It's been tough for a long time, so I don't blame the kids. But guys, this is my message in episode 4. Kids, come back. Come back. Look who's here. You could come back, sell your jerseys on eBay, get rid of them, come back to the Leafs. We'll welcome you with open arms. Again, guys, Leaf Talk, episode 4. Questions are dry tonight. Need some more deodorant over here because it's drying up bad. The jokes are bad tonight. Everything's bad tonight, guys. Any new questions, Nicholas? Nothing.
Nothing right now.
It's been a rough episode so far for Nicholas. No questions for the Wonder Boy to read. Cars smoked. We got Vic Vescio in the house. He's actually going to be a special guest. Vic Vescio works for RDA, does great insurance also. He's also trained a lot of the players in the NHL, including Marner, Nurse from Edmonton. I can't wait to pick out his brain. Pete Molino. Babs putting Marner in the first line was a genius. Yes, Pete, I agree. That woke him up. The way he was playing the first 4 or 5, even up to Ottawa, I would say, in the 8th game, he was not himself. I think last night really showed how much he means to us. He pretty much was the first star and was the best player on the ice. Great question there, Pete Molino. Still looking for some more question, guys. Girls, don't be hesitant if you have a question to ask me. Love life's falling apart. That guy in Tinder's not swiping right. Talk to me. I can't fix everything. Because Tinder and Bumble is a rough way to go. I'm actually on both, guys. I'm looking to get married by the year 2020. I repeat, 2020. So, we look pretty dry here, Wonder Boy. Do you have anything to add?
We have a big game going on tonight, Oilers-Penguins.
Oilers-Penguins, wow, what time is that?
It's on right now, second period, 0-0.
Are you going to drive home to see it? Oh, that's right, you don't have a car. I'm sorry about that, Wonder Boy. It was just comic relief.
That hurt.
I did, but you know what? The guy who hit you, his insurance is going to hurt him a little bit more. Shout out to the guy who wasn't paying attention.
Canadians down 1-0 to Florida.
Oh, I love it, my Canadian fans. Hopefully you go to 1-7-1 and might get that elusive 4th point tonight. Bergeron is probably the worst GM in the league, making terrible trades. What's his name?
Bergevin or something.
Bergeron.
That's Boston.
No,
Patrice Bergeron, that's Boston.
But who's the GM?
Bergevin.
Whatever his name is. His name could be Minivan right now. He is struggling. He is basically doing terrible trades, no offense. It's Carey Price, and I love it, guys. I wake up every morning. Instead of doing 14 minutes on my Bowflex M5, I do 15 minutes just because the Habs are 1-6-1. Amazing.
Another score around the league. Tampa Bay is still flying high. 2-0 right now against Carolina. They're going to look like they're going to go to 8-1-1.
Well, Kucherov is playing out of his mind, and Stamkos, too bad he's gotten hurt in the last 2-3 years. Would have been a good addition to Team Canada. No Olympics this year, guys. I'm pretty upset about that. But guess what I'm going to do in February? I'm going to go away, because that's what you got to do when it's minus 40 outside. Any new questions, Nick-Lee? Are you checking the timeline just to make sure here?
No.
Okay, well, guys, looks like this episode is pretty dry. I'm going to tune off here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's Joy T. Leaf Talk with the Wonder Boy Life Talk, episode 4. Remember, just before you shut that off, Nicholas, it's 8:39 if you message me at 12. I'm on my 3rd dream. Good night. Stay safe.
Oh, we got some questions.
Oh,
you still
big
want to continue?
question. Charlie. Valerio Rocca wants to know where can he order his custom Mateo V-neck size extra large, extra deep V. Basically, I will be making those shirts, Charlie, and we'll be hanging them off your crane at your work site. Good question. Valerio used to play with me on my soccer team from 1987 to 1997. He's watched me win 2 Ontario Cups. I'm a winner just like Crosby, back to back. Shout out to Valerio Rocca and to Charlie for all his great questions.
Question going into Lowry. Dominic per kilo. Lowry has 33 million reasons to shut up. What are your thoughts on the direct that came out of his mouth? Did you hear what happened?
I did not hear what happened.
San Antonio reporter was talking to him about the offseason because he had interest in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. He said, San Antonio, I would have loved to play in San Antonio, but they didn't want me.
Well,
he shouldn't be saying that because he's still with the Raptors.
That's a good point. But you know what, guys? I love the Raptors. You know, Lowry, he's, to me, if there was 30 point guards in the league, I'd probably rank him 10, maybe 11th. I knew the Raptors were going to lose in San Antonio last night. They started off 2-0 against the teams they should beat. Then they lost against San Antonio, which is a team that should beat them. They'd even have their star player.
No Kawhi Leonard, no Tony Parker.
That's embarrassing, guys. This is why the Raptors are not giving me the hype I want to go to any of the games this year. It's the same old story with the Raptors. Good enough to beat the bad teams, not good enough to beat the good teams. Lowry should keep his mouth shut. He's making $33 million. San Antonio didn't offer you nothing. The only San Antonio you're going to see if you go to San Antonio Foods in Woodbridge and get a panini, and you should be slapped with that response. Good question, Dominic. Someone get Dominic.
Another question, Vic Vasile.
Vic Vasile. Don't ever say that again, Wonder Boy. He does my insurance. You are disrespecting my insurance guy. Continue. Vic Vasile, my nephew's car got smoked. I apologize in advance. Continue.
Let's. What are your thoughts on the fourth line center position, and who do you feel is best suited for that position?
Right now, fourth line, Vic, I'd put you on the fourth line center. At this point in the year, I still like Dominic Moore. I think for the playoffs, Dominic Moore is our best bet at center.
They also just waived Eric Fair.
They waived Eric Fair.
They waived Eric Fair.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Eric Fair cleared waivers on Tuesday, but the Maple Leafs have yet to sign the veteran forward to American Hockey League.
Yeah, I don't think Eric's going to want to go backwards in life. I think your car went backwards when it got smoked on the street, but I don't think Eric's going to want to go backwards at all. I think I'm going to go with Dominic Moore. I like him for face-off killing penalties. He's a typical fourth-line center. Good question, Vic. RDA, Vescio.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Marner continues to play good. Would he be upgraded from the fourth line? Who would be brought down to the fourth line? Or would you keep him on the fourth line?
Oh, he's definitely coming out of the fourth line.
Who would you bring down to the fourth? Because Connor Brown puts a stability on that line of Bozak and JVR. Because they had a terrible goal differential.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to take him off that line.
I would take him off. Or you put, like I've been saying
Komarov?
for 3 weeks, take Komarov off, put him on the fourth, put Marner on the third, put a lot of skill in that Kadri line. You'll actually see Kadri light up with some nice passes. Imagine Marleau getting some slipper passes from Marner. That's what I would do. It'll grind them out a bit, make them work hard, and keep that fourth line all muckers. That's what you got to do. But Marner is not staying on the fourth line, especially after playing against guys like Kopitar last night, Doughty. He was the best player on the ice, and those guys are.
He had Martin and Moore.
Pardon me?
And he had Martin and Moore.
Yeah, those are tough players to play with. It's like, yeah. Definitely, he was like going out with a bunch of friends, and he was the best looking guy, and he's carrying the workload at the end of the day. That's what happens. Any other questions, Nick Lee?
Nope, nothing right now.
Well, back to the Raptors. Again, I think they're going to hit 50 wins this season, but they're going to get smoked against the Golden State. They got a bad road trip coming up. They're playing against Portland, Golden State Warriors. I believe they got to go to Utah, LA Lakers.
Maybe San Antonio too?
San Antonio, they already lost. They're going to...
We haven't played San Antonio yet.
They played them last night.
No, we didn't. We played... Oh, sorry, I'm Sacramento.
Wonder Boy falling asleep, guys. That's what happens when you're in university for the first time.
What happens when your
life,
car gets hit.
and your car gets smoked. I think he's feeling the impact of the driver right now, who's probably drinking out of a straw as we speak. Yeah, that's what the same old Raptors last night. I was watching from the Sure Club, and I was watching the game. It was tied, and I'm like, they're not winning this game. And when Leonard's not playing, and you got two All-Stars like Lowry and DeRozan, you should be smoking that team. Big time. And that's why it's going to be tough for me to spend any money at a Raptors game this year. I'd rather go watch the Leafs, because at least I know there's upside in that team. I can't stand a team that's stagnant, that's not going anywhere. I love the Raptors. Again, LeBron's going to smoke them when they play against them. Same old, same old. Hurrah, hurrah for the Raptors.
Here's something for you baseball fans. What are your thoughts on the Dodgers and Astros World Series?
I was hoping it was going to be the Dodgers versus the Yankees, because Judge is a beast. I would have loved to seen Judge crank some 500-foot moonshots. My mind says the Dodgers, but my heart's saying the Astros. I think the Astros are probably going to sneak. They could afford any player they want. No excuses for the Jays. Back-to-back playoff, pretty much back-to-back playoff years, and they came out flat this year. Shout out to Batista. Probably never going to see him in Jays uniform. I was at the game at the bat flip. One of the best experiences of my life. Shout out to Joey Bats. Great player. Hit a lot of home run skis.
Question from Dominic per kilo. Lonzo Ball almost had a triple-double in his second game. Is he a one-hit wonder, or do you think he's going to keep up with that?
I think, Dom, what they need to do is grab duct tape and wrap it around his dad's head and shut him up. I think he's playing against John Wall, I believe, tonight or tomorrow night. John Wall publicly came out and said, "I'm coming at you." Too much hype around the kid.
His dad targeted him.
His dad made it bad on the kid. The kid's good. But is he a superstar? Not even close. No. I think he's an average player right now. He might be better. He's a great passer. His shot is about as...
His form is terrible.
His form is terrible. It looks like if I went diving off a diving board, that's his shot. It's not that good, but it looks good when it goes in, I guess. Sort of like me when I dive in the pool. But Lonzo Ball, I don't think... They're comparing him to be the next Jason Kidd. I do not see that happening with Lonzo Ball. And he's got to stop rapping, stop selling shoes, just train. I'm surprised Magic Johnson letting this go on this long. Good question, Dominic.
Another question. Tavares and Duchesne probably leaving where they are. What are the best fits for the next team they go to?
Ooh, who's asking that question?
Don Perkilo again. He's got some good questions tonight.
Duchesne, if I was Duchesne, I would go to Montreal, try to help that struggling franchise turn it around.
There's some interest between those two teams.
Yeah, there are some interest. I think if I'm Duchesne, go to Montreal, play with Drouin, start some chemistry. Tavares, I have no idea where Tavares is going. I really wanted Tavares and Stamkos on our team.
But I don't think we need them.
We don't need them no more. I'm saying we don't need them. There's no room for them no more. We don't have the cap space for another forward at $8-9 million. That's a pretty good reason right there. We need a defender to spend that kind of money on them. But Tavares, no idea. There was a couple of rumors he was going to Buffalo. Why are you smiling, Wonderboy? What's going on over there?
There's a mortgage question.
A mortgage question?
Don Perkilo.
Oh, Tom, you're killing me here. You're killing me. Ask the mortgage question, brother.
As a homeowner, I am looking to invest in the... I can't see what that is. Let me see what this is. I'm looking to invest in the market. How does January 1st affect me?
Good question on the mortgage side of the world. I know everyone's heard about the mortgage changes. If you're looking to invest in January, basically, if you're putting 20% or less, call it 19% or less, you have to qualify at the rate 4.89 right now. And if you're putting 20% or higher, you're going to have to qualify 2 points on the going fixed rate. So give you an example. If the fixed rate in January was 3.50, you would now have to qualify at 5.50 even though you put 20% or more. I believe that will slow down the market a lot. It's not going to be good for a lot of people trying to get into the market. I really think it affects first-time home buyers, getting a gift from family members or just getting into the market for the first time. It's really going to, I think, give you an example. In January, if you're buying a house 5 months ago for say $800,000, that same couple that got approved for $800,000 is going to get approved for about $600,000. That takes a big chunk out of your desire where you want to live, and I think it's really going to take a hit, but we will adjust, guys. Back in 1989, my dad told me the interest rate was 19%, and he's still here today, so whether it's 4 or 5%, we're good to go. Julian Russo, good question though, Dominic. Hi JT, first time commentator, long time listener. If Austin Mateo could play soccer, would he score as many goals at Rainbow Creek as you did? Now, Julian, that's an insult to me because we all know I scored 4 goals from center with the Woodbridge Strikers. I was on the Lespecchio more than the Ink, and that was unbelievable. Back-to-back Ontario Cups. I actually trained Julian. He was a great player in his time. He was a pretty funny kid to train. Good question, but no, to answer your question, I had way more goals than Austin Mateo would ever have, but he's pretty close. Good question, Julian. First time commentator, long time listener. I think he wrote that wrong, but God bless him. He looks fantastic. Any other questions, Wonder Boy?
No questions.
No questions at all. So what are we at now at the time slot of this?
35 minutes.
35 minutes. All right, guys. Let's play the music. Shut this off for tonight. I'm going to let you know when the next episode is. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leafs are now 7-2. Hit the music, Wonder Boy.